Hey guys, this is Seagull Panda, and today I'm just bringing y'all another review slash demo, and this is on another foundation, and this is the new Dior Star Foundation. This foundation came out about a week or two ago, and it's actually Dior's newest foundation. It retails for about $50, and it does have a variety of shades. I think there's 16 different shades that you can choose from. I got it in the shade 30 Medium Beige. It has a broad spectrum of 30 SPF. It is long wearing, and they claim that it is weightless studio makeup. The packaging for this foundation is kind of screams luxury and elegance, to be honest. It is a glass bottle and it is fairly heavy. This isn't a plastic feeling as opposed to the other Dior foundations that I have checked out at the Dior counter at Sephora, and honestly it's like this one is way heavier than the other one, so that does feel better when you pick it up. I mean, for the price that you're paying, which is $50, you're definitely getting exquisite packaging. And it just looks super cute. It says Dior on the top part of the bottle, and it does come with a pump, which is a plus. Some of the promise that Dior's website claims this foundation does, it does promise to brighten your skin like the light from the Dior studio, and I'm wearing it right now. It claims that hollow silica beads capture light and reflect it for a luminous glow. And honestly, I can tell on camera I'm a little bit luminous. It also claims to reduce the appearance of dark spots and redness. No redness. It does reduce some of your dark spots. If you have extremely dark spots, I noticed that you can't, but I'll get into that in the demo. That being said, this foundation does retail for $50. Now remember, I do have oily, acne-prone skin, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna return it yet, and I'll get to that later. So just keep that in mind that I do have oily skin as I'm putting it on, etc., and going through my makeup process. So I'm just gonna insert the demo right here. Okay guys, so I'm moving on to the demo part of this portion, and I always hate this because you get to get up and personal with my face. So I'm just gonna start applying this to my face. As you can tell, I'm not wearing any makeup, but you can see some of my blemishes. My face is pretty smooth for the most part right now, but I will say that throughout this last week that I've been using this foundation, I have noticed some breakouts. But again, I've been drinking coffee, and that normally makes me break out, so I'm not 100% sure if this foundation makes me break out, but I will say that it does clog my pores a little bit around this area. So not like over here, but just my nose area and my upper lip and a little bit on my eyebrow area. That's a warning to y'all. I don't know. I mean, if the breakouts continue, I'll definitely know that it's this foundation, and I'll probably post it in the description below. Let's see how this applies. I'm actually gonna use my fingers for this application just because I've tried the sponge and it shears the foundation out too much to where it's basically like a BB cream. And I've tried a brush, but I feel that I just like using my fingers better. And so I'm gonna take it and pump 2 pumps. As you can see, it's a little bit liquidy, but not really. It's a kind of a stiff foundation. I'm gonna take my mirror, so if I'm not looking at the camera, you don't know what I'm looking at. I'm just gonna take the foundation and put it all over my right side, and I'm kind of gonna dot it.
It's dark.
So I've applied the foundation to the right side of my face, which may be your left. I'm not entirely sure how that works. But I've applied it to the right side of my face, and as you can see, you can definitely tell the difference between no makeup and makeup. And I'm gonna zoom in. As you can see, for the most part, it covered some of my blemishes. You can still see some poking through, as opposed to my face, all these blemishes poking through. This is the no makeup side, and then this is the makeup side. And I mean, some of them are coming through, but for the most part, my skin tone looks even. And I'm playing with the lighting, guys, so that y'all can see, because the sun keeps going up and down, like the clouds keep hiding it. But as you can see, acne spots, and then it does cover it up for the most part. And I'm gonna zoom out now. That was just one layer of makeup. Now I'm gonna go in and put another layer on top of this. So guys, I finished applying the second layer to the right side of my face, and as you can see, for the most part, it did cover most of my imperfections. This is the type of foundation that's not going to give you full coverage like the Estee Lauder or Becca Ultimate Coverage, but it did cover for the most part. I mean, if I really wanted to cover them 100%, I would just use a concealer. This isn't the foundation. This isn't one of those foundations where you might not need a concealer. You're definitely going to need a concealer if you do have dark spots. So there are a little bit peeping through, but it's not obnoxiously that I would go get concealer, so I would just leave it like that. As opposed to this where I have all these red marks and stuff. So overall it does offer good coverage and it is buildable. And I'm just gonna finish applying it on the left side of my face before coming right back. Now what I'm gonna do with this foundation before applying the setting powder, etc., is I'm gonna set it with the Scandinavia No More Shine Makeup Finishing Spray, just because it's extremely hot outside and it's still a little bit humid. And aside from that, I have been using this foundation for a week, and I've realized that if I don't do this for my oily skin, the makeup gets ridiculously oily within the first 3 hours. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I'm just gonna go in with a setting powder, and then I'll finish my makeup and I'll be right back. Hey guys, so I finished putting on the rest of my makeup, and if y'all could see from the demo, it does cover for the most. It does have exquisite coverage. It is a medium buildable coverage foundation. You can get to full coverage, but I don't think that it's full coverage right off the bat. It does cover my imperfections. I will say that because I do have oily skin, I've been wearing this foundation for about a week now. If I do not set it with setting powder or my setting spray, it does get oily around the T-zone. Just on the T-zone, but it's like extremely oily to the point where like I'm blotting like every hour. It's a little obnoxious, but that being said, I am coming, like my perspective is coming from my Estee Lauder Double Wear, so obviously, you know, those are two different foundations and two totally different claims. So that being said, just keep that in mind if you do have oily skin. If you have dry skin, this foundation will be perfect for you. If you have combo, you can probably get away without the finishing spray. Probably just setting your foundation will work. For me personally, because I'm extremely oily when it's humid outside, and it's humid outside, I just can't. And I don't, because my days are extremely long, just putting that out there. Anyway, this foundation did brighten my skin tone. Even though I thought it was gonna be too dark for me, it did brighten my skin, surprisingly, because when I first put it on my hand, and I know y'all are gonna tell me like you're not supposed to, but when I look for foundations, I look for this part of my skin tone because that's the undertone on, that's the same skin tone as my chest. And for the most part, I like to match my foundation to my chest because, you know, sometimes I'm wearing a v-neck and then my face is like darker than this. So I'm just letting y'all know I have a weird skin tone. That's what happens when you're biracial. Anyway, it did brighten my complexion, it did cover up my redness. Did it cover most of my dark spots? Yes. All of them? No, but that's to be expected. You would definitely have to go back in and use a concealer to cover those spots up. For the most part, my complexion is definitely glowing. That being said, it is 11:15 a.m. right now, and I will be back in an hour, maybe 2, maybe 3, I don't know. I'm going out of town right now, but I will definitely get back to y'all before the end of the day so y'all can see how my foundation has worn out. I'll be back to check up with y'all later, guys, so y'all can see how the foundation is wearing on my skin. So keep watching. Hey guys, it is now 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It has been 6 hours since I initially put on the Dior Star Foundation on my face. And as you can see, it's still on my face for the most part. The only part that, you know, I'm having some trouble with is my T-zone. But again, that is normal. I did set it and I did prime a little bit. But that being said, because this isn't a matte foundation, I don't expect it to do amazingly well in my T-zone. If the problem was all over my face, then I would be worried, but because it's just my T-zone and I do have oily skin, I'm not necessarily worried. I'm gonna zoom in now. So I'm like completely zoomed in right now. Sorry to be getting this personal. But as you can see, my face is kind of past that luminous, you know, glow from within look. It's not necessarily super oily. I'm like squatting right now, guys. Like, this is dedication for y'all. Like, this hurts. Okay, I sat down. I was able to sit down. As you can see, I'm a little oily right here along my nose, and not so much right here, but that's because I went to Ulta and I picked up some products and I put on some concealer. So sorry guys, I was testing on a concealer, but ignore this right here. This is concealer, I just put it on. Anyway, I am a little oily right here and on my T-zone, but again, that's normal. Like I said, it has that glow from within look. So anyway, 5 o'clock, and I will check back with y'all in about an hour or 2 before the sun goes down, hopefully, and I'll be back later. Hey guys, so I'm back. It is now 7:15 in the afternoon, and it has been a total wear time of 8 hours. For the most part, I still look good. I am definitely starting to feel oily. I'm definitely starting to feel a little greasy in my T-zone area. The foundation in general doesn't feel comfortable on my face anymore, so you know, it's about that time where I have to wash my face. For the most part, it did definitely wear a pretty good amount of hours, 8 hours. Pretty long wearing, I can't argue with that, especially because it is a high-end foundation and most high-end foundations don't last all day. This foundation definitely did wear 8 hours, and so thumbs up on long wearing. In terms of brightening, I did notice that when I took a photo with the sunlight or with good lighting, my face did look illuminating and brightened, so I definitely agree with those claims. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do some pros and cons. The first pro to this foundation is that it's not drying. I didn't feel like it dried up or flaked in my dry spots, which is like up here and my nose. The second pro is that it did stay in place. I didn't feel it moving around my face or anything. My contour is still in place for the most part. So it does stay on your face as long as you set it, of course. The third pro is obviously that it definitely lives up to its claims. And a fourth pro would be that the coverage compared to previous foundations is definitely an A+. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be full coverage, but it's definitely medium buildable coverage. So thumbs up on that. It did stay in place all day. And I'm gonna go ahead and go into the cons now. Some of the cons to this foundation would be that it only lasts 8 hours, but again, because it's not meant to be, you know, it's not like Estee Lauder where it's like 15 hours of wear. It's a fairly good amount of hours, so although it is a con for me being the busy student that I am, I can live with it. A second con would be that the fragrance, I'm not fond of the fragrance that the Dior foundation has. It kind of smells like flowers at first. Of course it fades, the smell fades, it doesn't last. If you're allergic to fragrance, that might bother you, or if you just don't like fragrance, that's one of those cons where like you can't really do anything about it. The third con is that, like I said, I'm not sure if it's making me break out or not, but I have noticed that I do break out just a little bit. So I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that, but I'm not 100% sure. But if it does cause me to break out, just read the description down below. I'll more than likely tell y'all. Why would I lie to y'all? Another con to this would be that if you don't set it with a setting powder, it does get super greasy really quickly. So make sure you have an amazing setting powder, such as the Tarte Smooth Operator setting powder. But other than that, this is a really good foundation. And honestly, I would recommend this to someone who's looking for a more natural coverage foundation. I would definitely recommend it to someone who has dry skin, combo skin, and if you have oily, as long as you have a really good primer or something of that nature, definitely recommend this to you. So yeah, this foundation definitely gets a thumbs up. So that's all I have to say about the Dior Star Foundation. If you like this video, make sure to give this a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Dior Star Foundation or about anything else, honestly, let me know down below. I'd love to hear from y'all, and I'd love to hear what y'all want me to review next or what y'all have to say about the Dior Star Foundation. And if you want to see more videos from me personally, definitely subscribe to my channel. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Panda out.